A very warm welcome. You're watching IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. I'm Ritwika Gupta. Tonight we are going to put the spotlight on two global brands who are contributing to the Make in India growth story. First up, I'll be in conversation with Satish N.S, President Haier Appliances India, and in the second segment, a very special conversation lined up with Geetika Mehta, Managing Director, Hershey India. Thank you so much, Satish, for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
So we are in this beautiful unit of yours at Haier in Greater Noida. I want to begin by talking about the segment. So consumer durable companies have reported a double-digit growth in 2023. Tell me, what is your take on this, and what are the 3-4 big ideas do you have that will really shape this industry in the coming years?
Definitely, the industry is looking bright, and the growth factor which we are seeing is definitely on the positive side.
Yeah.
The 3 big ideas which probably we see a big change which is happening is the consumer expectation or the consumer usage.
Sure.
The way consumer expectation, because the new age consumers are coming in, that today the decision makers have changed. So the way they look at the product is completely changing. They're no longer willing to pay for the brand. They look for every feature and they're clear what they want to buy a product for. The second change which we are seeing is about the product innovation. Today, the product innovation has to come from the consumer experience, user's experience, rather than, from a R&D, then we do something and then go back to the market. No, it's the other way that, market, we have to go back and then see how the consumers are using the product. Based on that, we need to bring out the innovation. The third biggest change which we are seeing is the way media is being consumed. While the traditional media is there to stay, but the new age, the digital, and in digital there's so many things which are happening, so which is again a huge challenge. And also it's a big opportunity. With the digital space, we can choose the consumer whom we want to address and the product which we want to address.
Sure.
Today with so much of data being available, so we can pinpoint and precisely target the consumer for the product which we want to promote.
Right. So, amid rising inflation, tell me, what according to you will be the strategic actions required to really strengthen the manufacturing sector? And how do you think the inflation will impact sales and demand?
See, first is with the inflation being there, how do we localize our manufacturing, the components which we are doing or the processes which we are adapting, how do we localize and optimize our production cost? That's the first thing. Is second aspect is the features which we are probably introducing are probably should be very well thought of, and then that should make relevant to the consumer. We can't force fit any kind of a feature and then probably take out the cost out of it. Definitely we should focus much more on the features which are much more relevant to consumer. I think these two would be probably my take on to beat the inflation.
Sure. So on that note, tell us what is your perspective on the government's Make in India initiative, and what is Haier's commitment towards Made in India and Made for India? Okay,
first commitment to Made in India, Make in India is this is the plant which we are showing. So this is the state of art manufacturing facilities. So here we manufacture refrigerator, washing machine and air conditioners plant here. So it's a latest modernized manufacturing facility. So that's the first commitment to Make in India. Apart from this facility, we have another manufacturing plant in Pune, Ranjangaon. Just to give you a picture, in this plant, the Noida Industrial Park, for every 13 seconds, we manufacture one refrigerator. That's the strength which we have. And the other aspect is the manufacturing capability in our air conditioners is 1 million air conditioner on a single shift. So expandable to probably 2 million with the second shift. So that's the kind of a focus which we have in Make in India aspect. Your second question was, how is it helping?
Yeah.
Definitely, government has done the best part in pushing the Make in India project.
Yeah.
Because now, one is okay, of course, to beat the inflation, we are looking at the localization and the government initiatives which has been taken. So it's making us to look for localization, which also ensures the local employment gets into thing and the local economy gets in. See, around this plant, there's so many auxiliary units are there, which we have been developing them along with our factory. So this definitely it's a good initiative by the government in terms of pushing the Make in India.
Right. Since we're talking about initiatives, I also want to know what is your take on the PLI scheme? How do you think that will really impact the production of goods in the coming years?
See, definitely, when you look at the PLI, it's linked to the production. Okay, so obviously when the any scheme is linked to production, the end output is based on the kind of production which has been made. So obviously it pushes to optimize our production capability and also optimize the cost which we are taking it to end consumer.
Great. So I can't wait to go inside and also take a look at some of the products. So why don't we head inside?
Yes.
So Satish, tell us about Hire's inspired living philosophy and how are you committed to a sustainable and affordable lifestyle?
Okay, let me share a fact. Hire has been ranked as a #1 brand for the 14 consecutive years by Euromonitor. That shows that the brand believes in customer innovation. That's how we've been standing for #1 for the last 14 years.
Right.
So let me take you through this monument which we have built, wherein we call it as an experience center for the consumer. So we showcase all the latest innovation which we have, true to our customer inspired innovation. Look at this refrigerator. Generally when we see the traditional refrigerators which was there, India being a vegetarian country, when we did our research, a normal consumer uses the refrigerator section at least 8 to 10 times a day. A freezer section is at 2 or 3 times a day. While you see that refrigerator, the freezer section is on top and the refrigerators on the bottom. This is what is called as a customer inspired innovation. Here's this refrigerator, which is where the refrigerator section is on the top and the freezer section is in the bottom. You see the access for an Indian, normal usage. All the refrigerator section, whether it's your vegetable or your this one, is exactly at your eye level. This is what we call as a true customer inspired innovation.
Wonderful.
This is the bottom mounted refrigerator, what we call. And this is made in India in our Pune Ranjangaon plant.
Nice, wonderful. I also want to understand, because summers are just around the corner, what is your take on the AC segment, and also what kind of demand are you expecting in the consumer electronics sector as well?
See, the initial reports of air conditioning market is definitely very positive. We are seeing probably in today's article only, press article came, I think February has been the most hottest February after I think 1901.
Right.
That's the kind of temperature which we are seeing outside. We see a very positive sign. But definitely the customers are, as I said earlier, the customer has evolved. So they are looking for a highly effective and efficient air conditioner.
Sure.
Gearing up to this demand, we have introduced a host of air conditioners which are highly effective and energy efficient. So which probably we see should do extremely well in the industry.
Sure.
Probably our expectation is probably we should grow, the industry should be about 30 to 40% growth, and we should be almost double the growth of the industry is what we are planning.
Awesome. And the consumer electronics segment?
See, consumer electronics segment, we see overall as an industry probably about 15% is a growth which we are expecting as an industry. Our target is to have a growth of 40% for this year is what we have planned. Yeah. And we have completely lined up. The product lineups are ready. As I showed you the plant which we are showing you, both the plants are ready for this one. And our marketing campaigns are ready. And as a team, we are ready for even the user experience in the consumer mind.
And if you could also talk to us about your distribution channel network.
See, currently in terms of distribution, we address about 38,000 billing points through our distribution channel. And plus, of course, we have the presence in the e-commerce, plus we have the large format or the modern trade stores are there. So these are the channel which we currently address, and that's the, I think, the belly of the Indian market.
So as we are wrapping up this conversation, tell me, what is your business outlook for Haier in 2023?
For the 2023, the growth rate which we have planned is about 40%. And what we promise probably for the Indian consumer is a wonderful usage experience of our product. We will ensure the customers use the product which they actually buy for, and we will ensure the most efficient and effective products are delivered to the consumer.
Fantastic. It was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to host you.
It's time for a quick break here. On the other side, we'll be chatting all things chocolate with Geetika Mehta, Managing Director, Hershey India. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11, and right now I'll be chatting with Geetika Mehta, Managing Director, Hershey India, to understand the brand's growth strategy in India's highly competitive chocolate market. Take a look. Thank you so much, Geetika, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So, I want to kick this off by talking about the confectionery market in India especially, and with a special focus on the premium chocolate category, especially for a brand like yours, Hershey India. What are the opportunities and the growth drivers? What can you tell us?
Okay, so the category, of course, of confectionery and chocolates has been increasing. Consumption has almost doubled in the last few years, and we expect the category to continue growing at an 8-10% for the next foreseeable future. Within that, about 1/3 is premium chocolates, which is where we play. And Hershey is actually usually, before that used to be a syrup company. It's only in 2020 that we launched chocolates nationally in India. So it's a new chocolate player in that sense.
Nice.
But within the last few years, we have made chocolates our biggest category for Hershey India.
Yeah.
And we're also the number 3 player in the category of premium chocolates now. So what's driving it for us has really been a lot of premiumization, the right kind of formats, ensuring we have the kind of flavors and sensorials that consumers like.
Right.
And the other thing that is driving it for us has also been gifting. That's an area that is really kind of exploding. So be it Diwali, Rakhi, Valentine, even like Halloween and others, Chocolate Day. So I think that's been a big driver for us as we see the business in India.
Nice. I also want to try and understand, how much do your offline and online, sales, contribute to your overall revenue? In other words, what role does e-commerce play for your business?
So e-commerce is a very, very important part of the business. It's with the pandemic, of course, we saw a huge uptick in the business there. And our business would roughly be about 13 to 15% on e-commerce, which is much higher than the other similar players in the category or in the FMCG market.
Yeah.
So what for us works is a lot of investment behind e-commerce that we put in. Also, e-commerce is a very fair marketplace, right? Everybody gets one frame, irrespective of what your market size or share of the market is. And I think that really helps and comes to our kind of rescue. And quick commerce is again something that is adding because it's an impulse category, and therefore quick commerce in 15 minute delivery is able to cater to the requirements of an impulse demand of consumers.
Sure. So India's chocolate market, it's been dominated by foreign players. Tell me, how do global brands have a sweet edge over homegrown local brands? And what do you think foreign players like yours are doing right?
So Hershey is the largest chocolate manufacturer in the US, right? So we do get in a lot of technology, a lot of know-how on how to create premium chocolates.
Yeah.
I think the reputation really travels. So in India, Hershey is already known as an aspirational international brand with high quality products, and that helps a lot. We also have a lot of investment. So we are a very tropical country. We need cold chain, which is not there anywhere across the world. However, for us to invest in cold chains, ensure visi-coolers at several retail points that we have, ensures we are able to get the best quality product chocolate, which would melt in your mouth but shouldn't melt at the retail store, really accessible and available.
Nice. I also want to understand, how Hershey India is contributing to the Make in India growth story in terms of, your manufacturing units in India. How are you planning to scale operations?
Okay, so 100% of our portfolio that you see on this side is made in our own factory. Chocolates we make in a co-manufacturing facility, but it is Make in India for India, catering to Indian requirements. So the palette is a little bit more sweet than it is globally, and we customize our chocolates accordingly.
Yeah.
And our own manufacturing footprint is in Mandideep in Bhopal. The factory really focuses a lot around sustainability, a lot around green power, ensuring 50% of our electricity is from solar energy.
Great. So tell me, what are the new products and categories, Hershey India is probably introducing or launching this year? What can you tell us? And of course, during the pandemic, we also saw consumers moving towards more health-oriented products. Is that a growing focus too for your brand?
Yeah. So actually in the pandemic, the part that grew the most was, the baking, and everybody was, posting pictures on social media.
Yeah.
So our syrups, our spreads, our cocoa really exploded during the pandemic. The other part was also better for you. Yeah. So we, with our brand SoFit, have what we call dairy alternatives, those who don't want to have dairy or are vegan, lactose intolerant. We provide soya-based and almond-based drinks for them. So that is again an area that remains a continued focus for us, is growing. And I think the other part which is really doing well for us is our innovation, especially in the chocolates part of the business. Like I mentioned earlier, it is an impulse category. Okay. You have to keep kind of catering to consumer requirements with different sensorials. Dark chocolate is really growing. And that's an area we have launched dark kisses, we've launched dark bars, we have an exotic dark portfolio with almonds, we've recently launched hazelnut. So lots of innovations in the right space in order to really answer to what consumers want.
Nice. And in 2023, what are some of the trends, do you see shaping up in this space in the confectionery market?
I think premiumization is here to stay. So that will be something that we continue focusing on. Great products is an expectation that consumers have, and across the portfolio, that's a very big focus for us internally. The other thing I would say is also just great digital marketing, because consumers have moved. The way they consume media, the way they want to engage with brands has moved, and therefore we need to move along with them. So digital marketing will be a focus. And I think the third thing, which is frankly true for every company, is great talent. We really can't build great businesses without having brilliant people in our teams. And Hershey is great place to work certified business, and it is the sweetest place on earth. So yeah, we really take pride in ensuring we attract great talent to our company.
Certainly. Geetika, this month we're also focusing on women leaders, as part of the Women's Day Special Series. Tell me, how has it been for you, your experience as a women leader, in this very competitive space?
So I think the first thing that I've always said is, keep taking challenges. Yeah. 20 years ago when I joined sales wasn't the profession of choice, and you're from an IIM Ahmedabad, and why are you doing sales was a big question that I got asked. But just do something different, do something which is offbeat, something which will stretch and expand you, has been for me an important part of how I define myself. And that has also kind of seen itself in ensuring that I'm always remaining curious, right? Ask, so you learn something, then you have to unlearn and relearn sometimes in order to keep with the times. And I think that has also been an important element for me in leadership.
Fantastic. It was lovely chatting with you, Geetika. Thank you so much.
It was lovely speaking with you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. With that, it's a wrap on this episode of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you and goodbye.